Hello, everyone. I am Sharon Roberson Pender, President and CEO of the Capital Region Minority Supply Development Council and the operator of the U.S. Department of Commerce's Minority Business Development Agency in the Commonwealth of Virginia, the first one of its kind in the Commonwealth. As an organization, the Capital Region Minority Supply Development Council is one of 23 regional affiliates of the National Minority Supply Development Council, and our mission, 50 years later, it remains. We certify, connect, develop, and advocate for minority businesses. I'm sorry. This year, as I just mentioned, it's an incredible year for us. We're so excited because we're celebrating 50 years. It's our golden anniversary of advocating and connecting our corporate members with well established, competitively viable, minority owned firms. This month is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, AAPI. We are sitting down with some very special guests this month to celebrate and recognize their accomplishments. Today, we're kicking off this month in terms of our celebration with Dr. Cindy Shao, founder and president of the Asian Chamber of Commerce, AACC, where the mission is to encourage, facilitate, and support the economic growth and sustainability of the DMV community by building bridges and serving as a resource to the community. But before we get started with this conversation, and Cindy's an old friend, and I'm just excited to talk to her, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to pay homage to those who support us, those corporations, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about Cindy and bring her on. So thank you to our sponsors, title sponsors, Exelon. And under the Exelon umbrella is BGE, an Exelon company, Pepco, an Exelon company, Capital One, Amcus, the one of our premier MBEs. Another one of our premier MBEs is SB and Company with Grayland Smith there. And then, of course, we are supported by the U.S. Department of Commerce, Minority Business Center, and our grants. Cindy Shao, as I shared with you, great friend, the Asian American Chamber of Commerce, an organization dedicated to improving the economic development for Asian Pacific American-owned businesses in the metropolitan DC area. She is dedicated in bridging the Asian Pacific community with mainstream community and foster the economic development for AAPI and minority-owned businesses. Through Dr. Shao's leadership and commitment, the organization steadily grows and becomes the valuable resource for the fastest growing Asian community and the community at large in the metropolitan DC area. She currently serves as the chair of the Chinese Culture Institute. She's a member of the advisory board of Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce. She was a member of the Business and Community Advisory Council of Fairfax County Public Schools, Virginia Mega Project Community Resource Board, Asian Community Service. Over the years, she has done countless things. She is a very impressive background. If you look at the kind of things that Cindy has done, she graduated from Georgia Institute of Technology with a PhD degree in textile engineering in 2002 and has worked as a postdoctorate researcher at North Carolina State University. She has been named one of the top 50 influential women of Virginia by the Virginia Lawyer Media. Ladies and gentlemen, Cindy Shao. Good afternoon, doctor. How are you
Hi,
today?
good afternoon. Wonderful. Thank you, Sharon. So nice meeting you, and thank you so much for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I remember you have always been a great partner of the Capital Region Minority Supply Development Council. Every year, for the 7 years I've been here, you have been a staunch supporter of our Top 100 Minority Business Awards, and have even graced us with your presence as we look to incorporate different cultures in our events because we are a multicultural organization. You've reached out to us in the interest of certification for your members, and you have just are a household name as relates to the chamber. When I look at your background, so if I start with the last thing I just talked about, PhD degree in textile engineering and doing some postdoctorate kind of work. Can you just give us a glimpse of who Dr. Cindy is? Where are you from originally?
Originally, I was born in China, so I
Mm-hmm.
spent almost half of my life in China and half of my life in U.S. And I think
Hmm.
it has been a incredible journey, experience the two different worlds. So
So
I moved to
how did you get to this country? You said half of your life. So you were educated up into college, or how did that?
yeah, I received my master degree and then worked several years in China. And
Okay.
then I feel I want to explore the world and somehow I don't feel comfortable somehow in China. And because of
Hmm.
the environment,
Mhm.
I was looking for a new environment to explore more. So I applied the scholarship and got the scholarship from Georgia Tech. And then that led me to the US and spent the 4 years at Georgia Tech, got my PhD.
How wonderful was that? So, um, where in China did you mostly grow up?
So I was born in the city of Baotou. It's part of the Mongolia, Inner Mongolia.
Hmm.
It's still part of China, called the Inner
Okay.
Mongolia. Yeah, it's next to Mongolia. That's another country. It's the
Hmm.
north side of the China. And then moved to Tianjin for my studies and like a university and then a master degree. And then moved to Beijing, the capital of China. I worked there for several years before
Hmm.
I moved to US.
So you mentioned that you, at some point in your life, didn't feel comfortable in China. Do you mind talking a little bit about what was uncomfortable for you?
It just I don't feel like a pleasant, and sometimes in China, the relationship between people, right? It's not
Hmm.
that harmonious, and also it's not like what we have here. Sometimes you have different opportunities. You can
Okay.
compete in China. I think if you have a family background and a different type of right like a relationship, then you are different from others. So I kind of feel it's not that ideal for me. I'm uh, uh, eager to just explore other options and see what's out there in other part of the world.
Wow. So when you came to the US, did you have family here already? I know you said you got a
No,
scholarship.
yeah, I was the first one to come here, and then my husband followed me after half a
Okay.
year. So I was
Okay.
the first one to come
So
here.
how did you end up in the DMV? Because that was, you said in it, you were in Atlanta and Georgia, in Georgia
Yes,
Tech,
4 years, four
right?
years, Atlanta, Georgia Tech, and then I did a short-term postdoc research work at the North Carolina State University. And
Hmm.
then my husband moved to DC area. He found a job, and
No,
then I
that's how you
followed
got here.
him. Yes, and we really like, you know, this region, and we settled down. And with the three
Okay.
kids right now,
So
three
tell the
children.
tell the truth. It was too hot in Georgia, wasn't it?
I didn't feel like that. It was
I
one
know
thing
you.
I feel is that people who live in the south,
Uh-huh.
they're a little warmer. When you travel to the north, you feel a little bit colder. Oh,
Oh,
it
in
took
terms of people interaction, people sub
interaction.
yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's the one thing I feel. But yeah, it's everywhere it's different, different culture.
Yeah. So let me ask a question then. So I would imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, the DMV has a lot more socialization around different cultures than what you found in the South.
Yeah, this is I guess one of the reasons we really love this region. it's so international, it's so
Hmm.
diverse. Here you just can experience so much, and I feel this is a small United Nation, and we had the chance to just meet people almost from anywhere in the world. So you
Yeah.
really enjoy, yeah, learning
So
about
it
the different cultures.
so for you, did it fulfill that initial urge when you left China initially, when you wanted to explore the world, landing here in the DC area? Did that help satisfy what you were seeking? You think?
I would think so, really. I
Okay.
feel I'm kind of fortunate enough to be able to have the opportunity to come here. And U.S. is really opening arms to immigrants
Yeah.
from all over the world. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Very, very, very good. And so, if you and so could you share then how you was the chamber in exist? Tell us a little bit about the chamber. Was the chamber already in existence when you became the president of the chamber? How long have you been with the chamber?
The story is that I started the chamber in
Hmm.
2009, 13 years ago. At that time, I was active in the community, and I saw there's a huge Asian population in this region, Maryland, DC, Virginia, in some
Hmm.
counties in this region, even over 20% of the population, like Fairfax County, Loudoun County, 1 out of 5 people are Asian, but there was no active Asian American chamber who served this population. That motivated me to start one, and it works really well.
Hmm. So you saw a void, a gap in terms of chambers specifically for Asians, and you
Yes.
created one that was here. Was it already one in existence anywhere else in the region?
There were different chamber. I would say there are Chinese chamber, Korean chamber, Vietnamese
Okay.
chamber, or Philippine chamber. There are also one or two other Asian chambers, but they're not active.
Okay.
That's why we start one that's really working to serve to create programs and events to
So
support.
instead of it being an isolated, in terms of ethnicity, you decided to blend it all together.
Yes, yeah, yes.
Okay. What would you say? What are you most proud of? You said about 13 years of doing this. What are you most proud of?
Well, yeah, it has been 13 years. I feel we uh, gradually grow steadily, and then we're able to uh, work with so many organizations in different Asian community.
Hmm.
Beyond that, we also serve as a bridge between Asian business community and others like yours. We really enjoy the partnership, and thank you for inviting us to be a part of your top 100 awards program.
Absolutely.
We also learn a lot from your leadership. So that's something we feel important. We all work together. And lately, actually, even experience more like the uh, Baltimore Business Journal run that their president approached us. They were actually working together with the Hispanic Chamber and the Black Chamber, but they couldn't find an active Asian chamber who serve that region. And what we do here is kind of just what people are looking for.
Hmm.
So we really feel this is kind of needed for the different organization, for government, and for the organization who want to work with the Asian business community.
Okay. Well, congratulations on that. I read that. That's absolutely wonderful. What do you think is the biggest misconception about Asian businesses, Asian American businesses?
Misconception, I say there. There you will see a lot of restaurant, dry cleaners.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some people will feel lots of business are in that space, but there are also many companies who does HR or
Mm-hmm.
IT, government contracting, thirds. Uh, that might be one of them, and also for many Asian Americans. There are different generations. There is some like a first generation. They actually couldn't. They have language barrier. They rely on their
Mm-hmm.
daughter or son to help them with their business. There are
Sure.
also many accomplished business owners, like so many Indian successful entrepreneurs. They start IT companies. So it's more it's very diverse. It's not all the Asians are similar or same. And also
Mm-hmm.
some are really wealthy, but there are also a population. I think that they uh, need lots of help or underserved. So it's something maybe not all the people are familiar.
Okay. How can you tell us a little bit about some of the companies that you serve in your chamber? Because you mentioned that there's and certainly minority owned businesses. I can tell you African American owned businesses suffer some of the same things that you're talking about. People think it's monolithic as opposed to, and indeed in the Asian American Chamber, you have different ethnicities, different cultures. But share with us examples of some of the people that you serve in the chamber. Can you just tell us a little bit? If you were
Yeah.
bragging about some of your members, could you tell us a little bit about them?
Yes, our membership is pretty diverse. We have some IT companies, they're doing so well, and they
Mm-hmm.
build a business, they hire 200, 300, 400. Of course, there are also startups. They just start with one, two,
Sure.
less than 10. So we have a company at all sizes. But beyond this, I think there are also business who are in different other industry, like a restaurant. I know some restaurant owner they even couldn't speak fluent English, and they actually work so hard in the business. Uh, of course, we want to try to help and see if they can work on the business. But I think a
Mm-hmm.
business just in different situations. And yeah, you can really see the difference. And some members they really uh, are able to build a very good structure, and they can come on more, do more community service, get more involved, contribute, and also uh, kind of have access to more opportunities, and they're able to win big contracts like they serve in the government contracting committee,
Mm-hmm.
and they have great access to contracting officer, and they have good name, good branding. And I know we have a member company who just got the huge contract, but they're most of them I would say they kind of stuck in the business. Sometimes they are so busy in the business they don't have time to come out to grow the network, to look for more opportunities, to build the capacity. So we see, yeah, like different scenarios out there.
Yeah. What would you want people to kind of take away relative to thoughts they may have about the Asian community? And so, if you have potential corporations or potential government folks, why should they come to the um, um, Asian American Chamber of Commerce to support your businesses?
Because I think for each community, like the community we represent, we're also part of the bigger community. But of course, everyone has their culture roots. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
they feel comfortable working with people with a similar background. They can easily communicate. You can build the trust easily that way. So for companies who want to tap into the Asian community, organization like ours, we kind of serve as an ambassador, serve as a platform. We can help to communicate. Like I had a chance to work with the North Anne Arundel County Chamber, and we shared with their leadership team there. They feel it's sometimes hard to talk to the Asian business owner
Mhm.
in that county. And then through our connection, like our member, they have friends who do business there, and then we talk to them. We share the value of being a part of the chamber. uh,
Sure.
so I think they sometimes listen, right, to friends or people who are close to you. And then, uh, so I think that's one way we can help serve as ambassador to connecting the dots and then communicate to bring people together. But eventually, they will benefit, I think, from being part of the community and the chamber. You can imagine they have a huge network,
Hmm.
and they can definitely help that business in their county.
Hmm. Cindy, how has the your chamber members how did they fare during the pandemic?
I think luckily for most of our chamber members, they are not impact. I think everyone got impacted, but
Hmm.
since many of them, if they're in IT, they were doing pretty okay. Uh, of course, as time goes by, we hear different feedback. They said there are more challenges, but generally speaking, compared with other industry like a restaurant, hospitality, airline, I think they're the hardest hit. Most of our chamber member, they're able to stay in business, and even some grow their business. So it has been kind of positive. I think there are lots of things people overcome to be able to sustain, to stay in business. And that's kind of our experience. Of course, most business, they had the trouble, like keeping employees, and it's harder to hire new employees, new staff. And also there's so much uncertainties. I think everyone has to learn how to cope with, how to navigate.
Hmm. Have your members talked about returning to the office? Was there a lot of remote working during that particular point in time?
Lots of remote. I think still right now it become tough. I think to bring back employees. We heard it from big corporations, so it's tough. I think people get used to working from home.
Yeah.
Um, yes, that's what they heard.
One of the things, Cindy, that we talk about as an organization of minority-owned businesses, that minorities tend to hire other minorities. Given the DMV area, do you think that's true for your members?
I have to think so. Lately, one of our member, we approached them for our awards program, and it's a woman-owned company. They hire lots of the women minority employees. I think because people who have their culture roots, they have those connection, their
Mhm.
channels, so they kind of tend to hire more. That's definitely for sure.
Okay, so you said that you had IT members in your chamber, but you also have some restaurants,
We
right?
have restaurant, we have a banking institute, financial advisors, and media, nonprofit organization, government agencies,
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
real
And
estate.
yeah, during the pandemic time, there were other things that um, kind of happened as well that impacted our communities. For example, in the African American community, it was, of course, what happened with George Floyd during the time of the pandemic. During the pandemic, there was this during that period of time of 2020, um, and there was this. Um, it seems like there was hate crimes targeting the Asian American community that reached unprecedented levels. What was the conversations that you had as business owners as when we saw just the horrendous treatment of some Asian business owners or just Asians, period, across the country? What was the kind of internal conversations you all were having?
Yes, that has been on the national news, and internally within the chamber, we had lots of conversation. And we actually also got approached by so many organizations and media, and to get our feedback. I feel
Hmm.
this is a very diverse world, and people have diverse experience, uh, diverse perspective, and also I think nationwide, some places you see lots of damage, vandalization, uh, lots of Asian owned shops or restaurant got broke, like vandalized. But some place it's a little bit better. Here in this region, we heard like a place close to Eden Center. There are some stores. They're actually all together. They kind of got vandalized. So there are definitely some cases in this region. I heard in Philadelphia there are hundreds of them. So it was really really severe. Here in this region, we had a conversation with one of the members. They own several restaurants, and two of their restaurants, I think, got damaged, and it was overnight. So um, the owner shared, well, because if it's during daytime, maybe you can associate this with the hate crime, but overnight, they're not sure. And some of the members they kind of feel um, this is a really really like a um, um, damaging, or they personally have those experience, right? The bias or hate uh, in the workplace, and some they feel they're being so well respected, and many of them they're say higher level executive or they're business owner, so they don't have those experience. So this
But
is a kind of diverse experience.
right. And I just keep, when I was looking at some of the data, they were, was saying that the Center for Study of Hate and Extremism revealed that anti-Asian hate crime increased by 339% last year
Mm,
compared to the year before, and particularly in big areas like New York, of course, and San
yeah.
Francisco, Los Angeles, and other cities. But sometimes that causes solidarity, right? There, John Yang, who is the president and executive director of the nonprofit civil rights group Asian American Advancing Justice (AA) JC, said that as the Asian American community weathers pandemic fueled racism, the data proved that other groups deal with their own forms of hate, stressing that in times like these, solidarity benefits us all. We saw that in
Mm,
the George Floyd era, pandemic era with African Americans, there was solidarity among African American and other groups as well that joined in through the demonstrations that you saw, through the getting together and changing and reforming. Is there a sense of that happening with the Asian American community as you see it?
I would say so. Our chamber, I think, one of the things or campaigns we were worked on is we promote unity and respect. That's kind of the message we convey. And during the process, I think after those anti-hate incident and
Mhm.
the news, we also got offer from media and from various organizations, people really care and they want to show their support and they ask what we can do. And we feel like there are just so many nice people and nice organization there who want to lend the support. We were really, really impressed. And I think uh, anything happen, there will be something kind of responding to that. And that's when we see people come out united. And we really like promote this message of unity and respect. We all respect each other, support each other, all united together.
So that's wonderful. So it sounds like what you're saying is that you did see an uptick within the community, even outside of the Asian American community, of folks who wanted to embrace and
Yes,
say
yeah.
that, that we're all against this violence and this nonsensical stuff that's happening against our communities, minority people of color, and that
Mhm.
we want to unite from that perspective. Um,
Yes,
so that's kind of great. Is there anything that you're doing to kind of celebrate this month? It seems like we all get a month, right? So in terms, at least your month is warm weather, right?
this is
African
this is a
American.
nice month. It's a
Yeah, mine is a
springtime.
cold month. Yours has warm weather. So during this month, are there any things that you're planning?
This month we have record high events lineup.
Okay.
We actually have around 7 events. Tonight, we're going to host a spring fashion Friday event in DC,
Oh, wow.
Hotel Zana, and we will showcase Asian American fashion designers.
Oh,
Uh,
that's wonderful. Tell us a little bit more. Tell me where is that going to be?
it's a Hotel Zana.
Okay.
They're
Where's that
hosting an
located?
event, and we have Mrs. DC, uh, Mrs. Maryland. They're all Asian Americans.
Oh, wonderful.
They're coming to support and they will help as a model. It will be a fantastic event.
Okay. Anything
And
else going on this month?
and there are also monthly government contracting webinars. They always invite speaker from different federal agencies. Also,
Okay.
our signature events, Juice of Asia Chamber Awards Gala, will be held on May the 28th at the Live Casino. And this
Oh,
year
you're
we
doing a
are
live casino today with your award ceremony.
awards. Yes, I
Okay.
will be in person, and we have the Super 40 Awards program. This is the first time we rolled out this new awards program, and lots of the Asian American companies will be honored, and they're at different stage of their business.
That's
So
wonderful. And that's May the 28th.
May 28th, I
What,
will.
what day, what
So
day of the week is that, Cindy?
it's a Saturday. It is a Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
If you
Well,
don't have a travel plan, I'd love
well,
to
how can
invite
how
you.
can we get tickets if can people still buy tickets to it?
They can still buy tickets before this Friday. So the website asian-americanchamber.org/gala 2022. That's the website for the gala.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you see that here, Asian-American Chamber.org. If you want to be there, they're going to party hard on the 28th at Maryland Live. I'm celebrating this month. Anything else going on? I mean, that's a lot going on. And I think that the fashion show, and you said who are Asian Americans,
Mrs. DC
Mrs.
Gift.
DC. Okay.
Uh-huh. Her name is a Gift, and also me, Mrs. Maryland. She's a Korean American. There's
Korean.
also another Miss DC American Strong. Since they're different beauty pageant, so three of them are coming to this event tonight.
And that's tonight.
Tonight, yeah, in DC.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Anything else coming up this year for you, Cindy, for the chamber?
Oh, one thing I love to mention. Last year we started the restaurant month program because the
Okay.
restaurant they were the hardest hit. Many of them have to close the door, and some are able to survive. So we actually started the restaurant month program to promote the Asian American restaurants in this region. And I think that's one thing we feel really impressed. And like Visit Fairfax, they fully supported the program. They even built a landing page to promote the participating restaurant. And this year we're continue the efforts. We will do the second year restaurant month, and we will highlight more Asian restaurant in this region.
Well,
And
you know what,
other
Cindy, can you let me know? I would love, love, love to have that information. Restaurant, not restaurant. I'm used to restaurant week. I can't even say it, but it says restaurant month.
month.
And when is restaurant month?
It's after the Asian Heritage Month. It will be in June.
In June.
In
Okay,
June,
that
yeah.
sounds wonderful. And so, will that be published on your website as well?
We will. We will. But right now
Okay,
we're working
and
on
we
the
can go there to
data.
see. Yeah, we can go there to see who we can patronize during
Yeah.
restaurant month.
Yes. Right now, the website for Restaurant Month is the asian-americanchamber.org/restaurants.
Slash
So
restaurant. Okay.
restaurants, yeah, and we're adding more participating restaurant there. One
Okay.
more thing I'd love to share is we just actually formed the MOA partnership with the Department of Commerce International Trade Administration. So we
Okay.
will collaborate and support business to export and also attract investment from Asian countries. And this August 25th, we're doing a export investment forum together.
What you're doing an export and investment forum with the Department of Commerce.
Department of Commerce, yes,
Okay.
and we have a official MOA partnership. We will
Okay.
announce that soon. So that's kind of
Okay.
a new initiative here at the chamber.
All right. Cindy, I want to put you on the spot because I would love to talk to you about how we partner together to take advantage of some of this infrastructure opportunity. And so
Oh,
I'd like to see how your organization and my organization can partner together to go after some of that money. What do you think?
so look forward to working
Okay.
together.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry to put you on the spot on the air, but I thought that would be a great thing to do. The Cindy Chow, Dr. Cindy Chow of the Asian American Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for taking the time to share with us today. It is not only important. I mean, yeah, we did this through, during AA PI month, but it's important that, and this month has 31 days in it, but the work that you do go beyond the month. It goes beyond 31 days. It's 365 days a year. I'd like to thank you on behalf of all of those, and we are all beneficiaries of the success of what you do for the chambers, the sacrifice you've made in terms of you saw a need and you fulfilled the need, and here we are. Um, what 11 years, 7 years later, uh,
Yeah, 13 years.
13, I can't add, 13 years later, the recipients of your good work. And as you move forward, if there's anything that we can do as an organization to support yours, please let us know. We will continue to reach out and enjoy the partnership. I think there's a lot to be done. And so thank you for what you
Mhm.
do. And thank you for taking
Thank
the time today to be here.
Thank you so much, and thank you for always being there to support us. And we really appreciate the opportunity working together. And when I know when we ask your help and ask you to be a speaker, it's always yes. So we really appreciate your support for many
Yeah,
years.
yeah, I think you need to continue to educate us in terms of how we can best help. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here, and we are very excited to share with you the wisdom of Dr. Cindy Shao. As we move forward, I'd like to, as I shared with you earlier, this is an exciting year for us as we celebrate our golden anniversary. To learn more about our upcoming programs, visit our website at www.crmsdc.org. And if you've missed any of these Hot Chat podcasts, um, fret not. You can always go to listen to or view past episodes at crmsdccares.com. And we've had some just incredible speakers. You don't have to take my word for it. Visit the site and you'll see. And don't forget to like us, follow us, and share this episode and or other episodes on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. At CRMSDC is our title, and you can subscribe to any of our platforms um, on podcast on Apple, Google, or Spotify. And before I close, I'd like to extend a special thank you to our Coronavirus and Response and Relief Center and our media production team for the behind the scenes support. We could not do it without them. Thank you to our producers, Sonia, Nicole, Renee, and of course, Graybo Solutions. And of course, before somebody tells on me, I've got to also thank our sponsors again. And for those that are just listening, let me just quickly share who they are. AARP, Allion, Science and Technology, AT&T, BAE Systems, BWI, Thurgood Marshall International Airport, the City of Baltimore, DC Department of Small and Local Business Development, Dominion Energy, the Ellison Group, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the Financial Realty Services, the Hilton, Horseshoe Casino, Leidos, Lockheed Martin, M&T Bank, Maryland Governor's Office of Small Minority and Women Business Affairs, Mass Mutual, McCormick, Northrop Grumman, Parsons, Peapod, Prince George's County Office of Central Services, SAIC, Sodexo, Truist, United States Postal Service, University of Maryland, College Park, University of Maryland Global Campus, Washington Gas, Metro, Zillion Technologies, and Zone. And congratulations to our partnership with University of Maryland Global Campus as we launch, like none other, the MBE CEO Pandemic Recovery Academy, along with our Matchmaker event that's being launched this month. But our Matchmaker event is taking place on June the 29th. More to come October 12th. Put that on your dockets because that's where we're celebrating our 50 years at the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. Until the next time, I'm getting the yank. I got to go. See you next time. Bye-bye.